Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome to another episode of Sports News Splash at 12 with your weekend sports anchor, Miguel, Mike Medina. As you can see, I still have my DR flag background with me because it's Dominican Heritage Month. So this entire month, you'll be seeing this behind me. Former baseball player and longtime broadcaster Tim McCarver passed away on Thursday. He was 81 years old. He played 21 seasons for the St. Louis Cardinals, where he became a two-time All-Star and won two World Series championships with the ball club. He also played for the Philadelphia Phillies, Montreal Expos, and Boston Red Sox. He began his broadcasting career in 1980, and he went on to call games for the Phillies, Mets, Yankees, and the San Francisco Giants for over 20 years. My most fond memory of Tim McCarver came when him and Joe Buck were a duo working on MLB on Fox from 1996 through 2013. He called his final broadcasting game in Game 6 of the 2013 World Series between the St. Louis Cardinals and Boston Red Sox. But one of the things that I'll never forget, there's actually two things I'll never forget about Tim McCarver. The Game 7 of the 2001 World Series, he predicted what was about to happen when Luis Gonzalez stepped at bat, when he stepped up to the plate against Mariano Rivera. Tim McCarver predicted about the possibility of what will happen because the Yankee shift came closer because it was bases loaded with one out. And Tim McCarver, if you go back and listen to that game and watch that game, he basically predicted what was going to happen. And sure enough, Luis Gonzalez got the game-winning hit, won the World Series for the Diamondbacks, and ended the Yankee dynasty. So there's that, and also his commentary during Game 3 of the 2003 ALCS between the Yankees and Red Sox. As you know, that was a game where tensions were extremely all-time high, and Tim McCarver basically was saying that Pedro Martinez was threatening the Yankees that he's going to hit them in the head. Pedro Martinez, I've said that he wasn't really saying that. He was saying to Jorge Posada that I'll never forget that, because I guess Jorge Posada had said something about Pedro Martinez's mother. So, and to this day, there's still some hard feelings towards each other of Pedro Martinez and Jorge Posada. But yes, Pedro Martinez never forgot about Tim McCarver's commentary. And also he when Pedro took down Don Zimmer, which Don Zimmer made an awful choice of going after Pedro for his age. Tim McCarver was saying, that is just awful. That is just awful. So, but those are those are two of the many things that I'll remember about Tim McCarver. He's a person that he lives, breathes, eats everything. Baseball is everything to him. He did it from a player all the way to a broadcaster. So rest in peace to Tim McCarver. It's been an illustrious career for him. Welcome back. We're going to continue with some baseball, and I'm going to talk about the changes that we will be seeing in 2023. The pitch count are being installed and will debut on this upcoming season. So there's going to be 15 seconds with the bases empty, 20 seconds with runners on base, 30 seconds in between hitters. Hitters will get one timeout per plate appearance. Violations are automatic ball or strike. The one thing that I don't agree out of all these rules the one that I'm about to mention right now, is the extra inning rule, in which they're gonna remain putting a runner on second base to start the extra inning. I don't like that rule. I dislike it, but it is what it is. But it's gonna be interesting to see how the pitch count will play, the pitch times, and all of this stuff. It'll be interesting to watch. So it's going to come down to who will adjust to these changes and who will not adjust to these changes. I feel like the game is going to be much more faster, which I like. The game is always evolving. Baseball is always evolving. So I'm interested in seeing how all of this will play out. And also, I believe that stealing bases from first to second, I believe is going to be from second and third as well, but mostly from first base to second base, is going to go from 15 inches to 18 inches. So I feel that stolen bases are going to be much more challenging now. And it's just gonna be it's gonna be an interesting season to watch and make all these adjustments. But like the idea that the game will be played at a much more faster pace. The NBA weekend is here. It will take place in Salt Lake City, Utah. I'm gonna say this. I'm not a big fan of the NBA All-Star weekend like I once did when I was much younger. I like the early 2000s All-Star competitions. The only competition that I still like to this day is the three-point contest. There's just something about it that I guess because when I used to play basketball, I mostly like to shoot from a three-point line. And no, Steph Curry did not influence me. I was doing this way before him. But I was mostly into three-point shooting and playing defense. So I just love the competition level in the early 2000s. The first slam dunk contest was the 2000 All-Star weekend. So I got to see Vince Carter steal a show. I remember in that year, 2000, both Shaq and Tim Duncan won co-MVPs at the All-Star game. 2001 will forever be my most memorable All-Star game. This is when the All-Star game used to be on NBC, much better broadcasting. And that one was great because it was a low scoring game. I think it ended 86-88. And they played defense. It was real competition. Stephon Marbury hit some big shots late in the game, but it was by far the best All-Star game that I've ever seen. The 2003 All-Star game was great because of Michael Jordan. It was his last All-Star game, and he hit that memorable shot in the fourth quarter. But those are just some of the few memories that I enjoyed watching the All-Star game. But yeah, I mean, the slam dunk contest, the thing about it is that the creativity is gone. What more can you do? So many athletes from the past, have done so many tricks and moves in the slam dunk contest that what new ones can you make now? But I was impressed with the Aaron Gordon versus Zach LaVine one. I felt that one was like a rebirth of slam dunk competition. I believe that was 2016, 2017. But yeah, that was the last one that I can think of that made me say to myself, okay, we got something here. But I feel that the 2000s were much better. Vince Carter, Jason Richardson, which I feel like he gets overlooked. He had great competition in the slam dunk contest. Nate Robinson. Yep, those are some of the ones that I really enjoyed. Vince Carter, Jason Richardson, and Nate Robinson. I'm forgetting. Oh yes, and obviously Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine one. But I wish I would have been around to see the ones from the 90s. with Isaiah Ryder, Kobe as well. I mean, old school basketball is just better. It's just better, in my opinion. Obviously, the new school have some good things going on, but I like the old stuff. I like the old uniforms, the old All-Star weekends. But yeah, I might write a blog post about the 1993 All-Star game because it's been 30 years. So, and also about the All-Star weekend. So I might do that. Um, Today. I might do that today. So yeah, it's time for Triple M's quick take. Yep, this is the first of many quick takes that you're gonna be seeing from me. And on this one, I'm gonna talk about real quick about Mikal Bridges. In his first game with the Brooklyn Nets, the man dropped 45 points against the Miami Heat. And this Miami Heat team is no scrub. Bridges made a statement by saying to the Phoenix Suns, "You guys made a terrible mistake by trading me." And everybody's talking about, Brooklyn Nets, rebuild, blah, blah, blah. But you have Cam Thomas, who I believe is going to be a star for this team. And Mikal Bridges, his points average is going to go up by playing with the Nets. So the Nets have good things going on. And Mikal Bridges, he's a good two-way player, offensively and defensively. So I didn't like the fact that the Phoenix Suns trade him away, but this is an asset for the Brooklyn Nets. We're going to close this show with good or great. And for this one, I'm excited to talk about because it's about Run TMZ. That's right, Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullin, three Hall of Famers, played 2 seasons together with the Golden State Warriors. This is one of those teams that I strongly feel that they would have been legit title contenders had they played longer together. And for 2 seasons, they made magic. Um, they're very beloved in Golden State. In the 1990-91 season, they were the highest scoring trio in the league. They were coached by Don Nelson, and their system was very fast paced, run and gun type offense. And those guys were perfect for that system. How they got that name? Their system, run and gun, and also from Run DMC, the hip hop group. And, T is for Tim, M is for Mitch, C is for Chris. So Run TMZ, before Steph Curry era, before the We Believe team in 2007, before Anton Jameson, before shortly even Chris Webber and Latrell Sprewell arrived. It was Tim Hardaway, Mitch Richmond, and Chris Mullin. And like I said, three of them went into the Hall of Fame. Chris Mullin, class of 2011, Mitch Richmond, class of 2014, and now Tim Hardaway, class of 2022. And they were there for each other, all three of them, for each other's Hall of Fame speech and give each other flowers. So were they a good or great team? For 2 seasons, they were a very, very, very good team. I can't say great yet because it was only 2 seasons, but they were a very good team that had potential to be a great team. Well, guys, that does it for this episode of Sports News Flash at 12. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the All-Star game. And I'll be seeing you next Sunday. So, as always, be safe. May God bless you all. And always have God in your heart.